Danny Busboom-Kelly's first season back at her alma mater. They completed the 3rd undefeated regular season in program history. But that record could be blemished in just a few points.
Doesn't try and blast past the block, just a little off speed off the inside blocker's hand for the Nebraska point. This is where they need to lock in. They have a big front row for Nebraska for a stop on this Aggie team.
An ace! Morgan Riley, a couple of aces on the afternoon. And now Nebraska has a run going. They trail 19-14.
And there's the momentum they need. 1 point at a time, and it starts with Morgan Riley at the service line.
Underwood will take the pass. Stowers gets another chance. Underwood, the bump set to Kendall Stowers. Alec with the block. Seven-1 run, Nebraska.
Nebraska needed this. Here's a good pass, a little bit forward, fast to the pin. Fantastic cover play there, and then you see Rebecca Alec get up, take space. This is a huge Cornhusker block at a crucial time for Nebraska.
Awake here in Lincoln, and so are the Cornhuskers. 4 points in a row to pull within one in a must-win set. Nebraska's last home loss was November 26 of 2022 against Minnesota. Texas A&M has only beaten the #1 team one time. It was back in 1995. They're trying to close this out. What'd you hear on the Aggie sideline, Madison?
Well, it is loud here down on the floor, but Logan Lednicki started out saying, block out all of that noise. This stage is ours. Block out the stare down. Block out the fans. And then Coach Morrison said, be who you are. That's all you need to be. Run your routes. Make the pass. We got this.
They've looked comfortable here all afternoon. Can they survive this run from Nebraska? And can the Cornhuskers keep it going?
Plays we've seen from this Nebraska team all year long, and now they need them.
First tie since it was 7-all. Huskers on a 5-0 run. Net violation on Nebraska. Texas A&M hits the red zone.
Adriana's elbow got a piece of the net for Nebraska.
Danny just watched it on the Jumbotron and then pulled the green card out. But the angle that we showed you saw Virginia Adriano's arm in the net.
Another opportunity to talk to her team.
Nebraska is challenging. There was no net fault.
Yeah, great point, Holly. Nebraska, neither team has any more timeouts in this set.
Exactly. Why not?
See the left arm of number 9 hits the top of the tape.
After the review, the call on the floor is confirmed. Nebraska will lose the challenge.
Rebecca Alec for Nebraska telling her team, hey, run it back. Let's go. Next play.
So Nebraska, no challenges remaining. Texas A&M has one. Neither team has a timeout. A race to 25. Team right now.
Love that Bergen Riley is getting Rebecca Alec the ball at crunch time.
Terea Siegler, the freshman. Alex saved it. In comes Harper Murray. First lead of the set for Nebraska.
Every time they've made a play, Rebecca Alex had a touch in the play, and you can just feel the emotion on that side of the net for Nebraska.
She's from Lincoln, playing for the hometown team. Kendall Stowers ends a 6-1 run by Nebraska.
Kendall Stowers with a wicked sharp swing in the left with a lot on the line for A&M.
Choboy takes the pass. Bergen Riley going to Alec. You know you got to feed her. Letnicki tips. Harper Murray on the swing. Wide, no touch. Point Aggies.
Wow, that was a missed opportunity for Nebraska.
Wow, Harper Murray tipped and it worked.
Paula wants that one back, tried to swat it, and it just got away from her.
Harper Murray has tied her career high with 23 kills. Lainey Choboy will be on the serve. This freshman has been clutch.
Unbelievable. And the confidence that Bergen Riley has in her freshman middle attacker.
They called on her right away in this match in the first set, and she brought them a spark, and they have continued to go to the freshman Obeche when they need a kill. One-handed save from Choboy. Harper on the approach. Rejected by the block of A&M Kazapala and Logan Letnicki.
That blocking combination for Texas A&M, they are magical together, in rhythm, huge, no seams in that block.
A win for A&M, they're moving on to Kansas City. A win for Nebraska, we play 5. Choboy setting up Adriano. Set point, Nebraska.
Watch Texas A&M go back to Letnicki. She's in the front row right now, and she's been red hot for them.
Lednicki. Of course you go there. We're tied at 24. Texas A&M led by as many as 7 in this set.
Mafena-Kazapala, the best server on the Aggie team on the back line.
That was a great serve. Lednicki coming in hot. Helmuth 2, dug up by Malk. Sigler had to reach for it, it worked. Second set point, Nebraska.
Incredible, not ideal, but the timing out of the back row attack wasn't perfect, so Sigler had to throw it to the middle of the court, but it works for Nebraska.
Harper Murray will get the serve. Lednicki keeps it going. She's at 20 kills.
Incredible. We know Maddie Walk wants to go back, but the reach in line, and she loves to go angle, even though Bergen Riley's there. Too much pace on it.
Megan Fitch into serve. Bergen Riley getting aggressive. Third set point, Nebraska. This is amazing.
It's incredible. I mean, high-level volleyball when everything's on the line.
And Manaya Obeche will serve. It's wide.
Well, Courtney, I have never in my life felt more pressure or energy putting put down onto this floor. It echoes down here. There's a sea of red, and everyone is on the edge of their seats. This is college volleyball.
It absolutely is. A spot in the semifinals on the line. And they trade service errors. It'll be a fourth set point for Nebraska.
Biggest front line of blockers in the front row right now for Nebraska. Setter is front row for Texas A&M.
Bergen Riley has 2 aces today. Stowers to the floor. Nebraska has had 4 set points. Texas A&M has not had a match point here. Tied for the 14th time. Alec on the slide. Set point number 5, Nebraska.
Loving the energy and leadership from Rebecca Alec right now. She wants the ball.
She has been the spark in this 4th set for Nebraska. They trailed by as many as 7. They have to win this set to force a 5th. They call Nebraska coming over and blocking the set. That ball did not go in the plane of the net.
As blocker, she is a front row setter, so you think if she's going to attack it, you have to be ready, but she's trying to set that ball.
Murray dug by Helmuth. Stowers chasing it. It was really tight. Virginia Adriano with a block. It's set point number 6, Nebraska.
Huge timely stop for Virginia Adriano on that right side. Up, hands early and over for Nebraska.
Choboy on the serve. Lednicki dunked by Bergen Riley. Murray coming in. Blocked.
Harper Murray is going for it, but she's got to use the edges is because she's facing Lednicki and Kazapala at the net, and they are magical together.
15 blocks for A&M, tied for the 16th time. Lebeche dug up by Stowers. Nebraska set point number 7.
I think Locke's going to stay with that back set to Lednicki for Texas A&M.
Lednicki's got 20 kills. Raised the tape but went over, and you're right, Holly, she does. Tied up at 30.
Incredible back and forth, high pressure situations.
You want Kazapala serving, though, if you're A&M. She led them on a 10-0 run in the first set with her serve. Lebeche on the slide. An 8th set point, Nebraska.
Kazapala, heavy serve, and Lainey Choboy took all of it. Diving, perfect pass from Choboy, and then Lebeche with the kill.
A&M gets a perfect pass back to Lednicki. A&M has not had a match point. Nebraska has had 8 opportunities to force a 5th, but hasn't been able to close it. Match point A&M. Nebraska doesn't have any challenges to take a second look at it. Service error ties it at 32.
Rebecca Alec back on the court for Nebraska. Can they stop Lednicki? She's in the back row right now for Texas A&M on that D ball behind the 3-meter line.
Match point number 2, Texas A&M. It will be Emily Helmuth, one of their 9 seniors, serving. They've had a service error on both match points.
Everybody has a lot of adrenaline right now and going for it. That's why those are sailing long. It's all about that good hand contact right now.
Stowers just goes tip. 3rd match point, Texas A&M.
Usually you don't want to tip on set point, but Kendall Stowers has established her power game.
Rebecca Alec. Nebraska is glad she's on the floor right now.
Texas A&M's block is going too wide on Rebecca Alec, and that opens up that deep cross-court swing.
We are tied up for the 21st time. Nebraska has had 8 set points. Texas A&M has had 3 match points. Oh, they're going to say replay this point.
She is allowed to double the first contact over the net. I had this happen in a match, and I learned this rule. She did the same thing against Minnesota earlier in the year. If it's the first contact, it can come out as a double.
So they replay this point because they had originally stopped it for a double, but that was the first contact. Set point number 9 for Nebraska. You see fingers hit that ball, yes.
Look, like it got the left hand of Adriano.
Showboy has to track it down. Murray gets it done, and now that's 10 set points for Nebraska. Handles a swing from Lednicki. Adriano. They call a touch. Jamie Morrison is looking to his team and asking if they touched it. He does have a challenge.
I think Stowers might have got a piece of it. Left hand pinky of Kendall Stowers. What a swing by Adriano down that line for Nebraska.
It took 10 set points, but Nebraska forces a 5th set. They trailed 18-11 and won on the 10th set point. We decide this one in a 5th set. Texas A&M has only beaten the number one team one time, and that was in 1995. Nebraska hasn't lost at home since November of 2022 against Minnesota. All these two teams are focused on right now is getting the first to 15 points.
One set to 15, and if we see what we saw in that 4th set, it's going to be back and forth every point.
How big was Rebecca Alec for Nebraska in that set?
Huge. She was everything. She was that spark of energy. Every time she touched a ball for Nebraska, good things were happening.
If you're Texas A&M, you had 3 opportunities to punch your ticket to the semifinals. How do you regroup? What are you telling your team?
They don't need to do anything differently. They're touching balls. They're making plays. It's just one more play, and they would have won that.
Nebraska has been in the semifinals 18 times. Texas A&M has never been there. Madison, what were the Aggies talking about?
Coach Jamie Morrison said, we are playing great volleyball. Just a reminder, be ready from Harper from the back row. And then he said, we're going to have to fight like I know we can, but this is going to take every single thing that we have.
First to 15 continues on. They start with Stowers, and they start sharp in the angle. Kendall Stowers up to 22 kills and 13 digs.
Kendall Stowers, number 37 in black, has been unbelievable all day long. That was a sharp cut shot from her on the left.
We're seeing her full game on display. Tight, you go to Rebecca Alec.
Beautiful feed from Bergen Riley to Rebecca Alec, getting her middles going, getting some fire on the Nebraska side of the net.
Rebecca Alec has tied her career high with 13 kills. Backside to Lednicki. Harper Murray got it!
That was a big block by Harper Murray. They have not been able to slow down Lednicki. She's carved this court, but the hand shaping the ball back into the court for the Nebraska block.
Scrappy play for Nebraska. It starts with Lady Choboy. This time Stowers is going to pound it. And the down official stopped play. Oh, they called Nebraska going underneath the net, under that center line.
I believe it was Virginia Adriana trying to get up, might have crossed under the net and over that line. Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely a safety issue, something they watch, especially with her head or upper body going underneath the net.
Definitely.
So that is a point for Texas A&M. It was going to be anyway.
Block from Adriana now, turning up the pace down the line.
Kasapala out of the middle.
I feel like Texas A&M went away from Kasapala offensively in the middle, and the block was leaning towards Lednicki. That allowed the one-on-one opportunity.
Kasapala on the serve. Choboy with the pass out to Harper Murray. No touch. It was wide. It's a point for the Aggies. Important to note in this fifth set, when one team hits 8 points for the first time, they will switch sides. Each team gets their timeouts back. They each have additional challenge here. So A&M has 2, Nebraska has 1 challenge. They tried Obeche off of 1 foot, but unsuccessfully. And now Texas A&M's on a 3-0 run.
The block all over that for Texas A&M.
Crowd coming to its feet. Bergen Riley to Harper Murray. She tips. Helmuth readjusting and sails it.
Smart play by Nebraska to hit that ball to Maddie Walk, who's that right back defender. So somebody else has to set that ball, and it's a much or a less accurate set.
Murray with the ace. 7 aces today for Nebraska. She has 3. From Lednicki, 22 kills for Logan.
How about the set for Maddie Walk? Look how far, she's like middle back, pushes it all the way to Lednicki, who works it inside the block. And Nebraska's defense can't pick it up.
Obeche. Stopped on 1 foot. 17 blocks for A&M. That had 17 blocks in the regional semis on Friday.
Unbelievable. It seems like this set's a little bit slow to Manaya Obeche, and she's on the way down. Fast hands from Texas A&M on the block.
Bergen Riley is going to win the joust at the net, as setters often do. It's that last shove. dug by Murray. Mouth with a bump set to Landfair. Stowers got underneath it. They get it over. Alec Tooling.
Emily Helmuth, number 4, the left side block for Texas A&M. Tells Jamie Morrison that ball hit.
Well, they gave the point to A&M.
So no challenge.
So Texas A&M gets the point. They're the first to 8. They'll switch sides. Remember, in the 5th set, we're going to 15.
Watch this ball goes back. Does that get a piece of Rebecca Alec?
Did it get a piece of her head?
You see the motion by Helmuth telling her coach that.
And so that was what the call was. This point going back to A&M. Oh, it hit her back. Wow, so Texas A&M is the first to 8. Looking for their first win over the number 1 team since 1995. Texas A&M has had 3 match points in this match. It came in the 4th set, but they couldn't close it out.
It's been incredible, and Logan Lednicki on that right side has been unstoppable. Yes, Harper Murray had 1 block, but they've been leaning on her heavily on the right side.
Right now in this 5th set, Nebraska is hitting in the negative. What have you noticed about their offense?
They're going often to that slide, and the Texas A&M block is all over it. I'd love to see them attack more of the gap.
And they are using Obeche on that slide. They pulled Andy Jackson out of the middle, who is a semifinalist for National Player of the Year. They've used Obeche, the freshman.
Danny Busboom-Kelly said, look, when setters get tight, they lose the tempo on this set. So we got to look for Bergen Riley to keep pushing that tempo to connect with her attackers and especially her middle attackers.
There's 2 spots left in the national semifinals. One will be decided here in Lincoln. The other will be decided coming up later tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN in Austin, where Texas will take on Wisconsin. The winner of the match you're watching right now will take on Pitt in the national semifinals on Thursday. Nebraska is down 2. Madison, what were they talking about?
Coach Danny Busboom-Kelly said, hey, look, we got to find a way. I know we can. And then she was talking to Bergen specifically saying, remember to push the tempo, push the tempo.
Alec in the middle. The up from Underwood keeps it going. Harper Murray diving. And Morgan Perkins sends it down.
Underwood, unbelievable up, right hand pancake. We saw that earlier, but it hit the floor that time. Underwood able to get under that ball.
Nebraska calls timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. Texas A&M has its largest lead, going to 15 points here in the 5th set, and Nebraska is still hitting in the negative.
I think it's the pace, and I feel like the pressure defensively of the Texas A&M block really putting a ton of pressure on Nebraska.
Yeah, 17 blocks for Texas A&M. They had 17 in the regional semifinal. Plus, offensively, they're getting production from those pens. They've got 3 players in double figures, but Holly, they have 2 pens with over 20 kills in this match, and Kendall Stowers and Logan Lednicki.
Everybody has stepped up on the Texas A&M side of the net. The defense that I'm seeing, bodies flying to the middle of the court on those balls that usually drop on teams in that campfire, but they are all over those types of plays.
Yeah, the campfire being the middle of the court, and Madison, Nebraska's got to make some adjustments quickly.
And it was a quick timeout, but DBK was pumping up Taylor Landfair, trying to empower her, telling her this is her moment, and just trying to get her going.
Taylor Landfair, number 12 in white. 7 kills on the match. She's up front right now. The option on the left side for Bergen Riley to go to. The nation's best offense in Nebraska is hitting in the negative in this set. Taylor Humphrey is going to enter for the first time to serve for A&M. Goes at Malk. It's a tight pass. Stowers swiping it off that block, and Texas A&M hits 10.
Nebraska needs to take care of that pass. That tight ball that Bergen Riley had to joust ends up on the Texas A&M side.
Long from Humphrey. Bergen Riley will serve with Nebraska down 3 points. Oh, fire in the middle from Morgan Perkins.
I love the confidence of Maddie Watt getting Perkins going one-on-one. She's been pin heavy lately, but getting the middles going at this point in the match.
Taylor Landfair, dug up by Underwood, by Thomas. No setter on the floor for A&M. And that swing goes wide. Texas A&M came out right out of the gate and set the tone. They won the first 2 sets against Nebraska, including going on a 10-0 run in set number 1. They are 3 points away from the semifinals. It was a Nebraska team who had not dropped a set at home since September 12th against Utah, and Texas A&M came out in the first set and they won it 25-22. And we saw that fight in Nebraska in the 3rd set and the 4th set.
We certainly did, and then some response at the end of the 4th set to win it and push this 5th set by Nebraska.
Nebraska team who is trying to continue an undefeated season. It's the 3rd undefeated regular season in program history. But that has been in danger all afternoon, and now Texas A&M, who has already had 3 match points in this match, is 3 points away from the semifinal, a place they've never been.
And Texas A&M showing no signs of letting up.
Just listened in on Nebraska's very quick huddle, and all BBK said was she looked at Bergen and she said, hey, set anybody. If you get set, step up.
Bergen has plenty of options. That has been one of Nebraska's strengths all season. Nebraska hitting -133 here in the 5th set. Texas A&M hitting 357. Tatum Thomas. She goes to Alec, who just flings it over. Taryn Morris coming in on the roll shot. Back to Alec. That's a better rip.
Connection much better on that 2nd set, and Rebecca Alec annihilates it. That play, Texas A&M did not have Maddie Walk on the floor. She's back, though.
They've been subbing her out to use a blocking sub. As it goes in the net.
Terea Sigler doing a great job from the service line, pulling the setter off the net, and that forces her to go out to that left pin.
Makes it predictable for the defense in the block. To the floor for Kendall Stowers. She's at 25 kills. A new career high for Kendall Stowers, the transfer from Baylor. A&M 2 points away.
Good pass, feed Rebecca Alec. Fantastic outcome. Right now, Nebraska needs a stop. They need to serve well, and they need a block stuff Choboy has been working on her serve. More pace, more variety, and it pays off right there for Nebraska.
Texas A&M calls timeout. Seems like when Nebraska needs a spark, Rebecca Alec has been the one stepping up in these last two sets. She got the big kill right before that ace.
Definitely, but I think she stepped off the court, which isn't a good thing for Nebraska.
You know, after that last play of Fennecasse-Paula, it took her a minute to get up off the floor.
Two players collided going for that ball.
She was able to walk off the court and over to the Texas A&M huddle. Winner of this match is going to Kansas City to take on Pitt. It's a race to 15 points, and Texas A&M is 2 points away, but Nebraska is trying to grab some momentum and continue on their undefeated season.
Listened in on the Texas A&M huddle. Kendall Stowers started out saying, hey, we need to give this everything we have. Head coach Morrison said, watch the short serve. We need one side out for match point. Take it 1 point at a time.
Job getting out on that ball, quick over the net to stop Stowers, who's been red hot all day long for Texas A&M.
It's a 3-0 run, Nebraska. Letnicki tooling it, and it's match point for the 4th time today for Texas A&M. Obeche. Letnicki. Harper Murray keeps going, but it is a 5th match point for A&M. They had 3 match points in the 4th. This will be the 2nd here in the 5th. You feed Letnicki. Texas A&M is built for this, slaying giants. The Aggies just rocked the volleyball world.
What a performance.
And silence inside the Devaney Center except for the Texas A&M faithful. An undefeated season comes to a close for a Nebraska team who was incredible this year, but they will not make it to Kansas City.
All season long, people said, look, is this the best team you've ever seen, the most dominant? And I said, yes, but they have to win to be considered one of the best. And Texas A&M came into their home and just dominated.
How do they dominate Nebraska?
I'm not sure, but Nebraska hadn't been pushed like this all season long. Only in the practice gym, and the response from the Aggies was really impressive. They never backed down. They made plays, and this was a team on a mission. Before this match, I said, this is the most dangerous team in the country, and they proved it.
Texas A&M, how important was it for them to come out and set the tone like they did? In the first set, we saw a 10-0 run, and they won that set.
It was everything. I mean, they proved they belong here and that they are in the conversation. And what they just accomplished today was mind-blowing.
For Nebraska, Rebecca Alec, the hometown hero, her final time inside the Devaney Center. It was an incredible season, but it comes up short of their goal.